Hello and welcome. My name is Jessica Gem, and in today's video I'm sharing a Leah speed paint. Time to get these gears going. For this concept, I knew that I wanted to do one of those super pretty anime-style painterly pieces, and to do that, I had to have a really strong sketch base. I do a ton of adjusting to not only the sketch, but also all throughout the piece, as I need to work on not being too precious with things, changing them up when needed. At first I drew her old outfit style, but I changed it to her current one before too long. I basically just go through painting and blending everything, so I'll share a bit of her story while you watch. This is Leah. She began life as a simulacrum of Rail, created by Archie to help out with some of her work. Rail was mayor of her co-founded town Lavrins at the time, while also taking care of her newborn twin daughters, Sachi and Linnell, so she had her hands quite full. Simurail helped take some of that load off, but the situation didn't remain so peaceful for long. Multiple major events happened, one leaving Archie out of commission, one causing Linnell to be stolen to another plane, and one causing Nathan to fall comatose. By this time, Vecna had also returned, and Nathan's simulacrum received a message requesting a meeting. Shadow went as well, and Rail came along for backup. Because she was still paranoid about losing Sachi as well, they brought the simulacrum, Sachi, and Soph, an older child they had recently found and couldn't leave alone. Those three were going to wait at a safe distance while the others confronted Vecna, but he had other plans. We found the spot, and there was just a door sitting there with nothing attached to it. Vecna opened it and let us in, showing us that he had taken Archie and had him floating in stasis. He demanded that we make a deal with him. In exchange for not attempting to stop him from ascending to godhood, he would temporarily take our memories and give them back once he had completed his goal. Rail had to accept the deal since he had Archie, and Shadow agreed as well. Nathan's simulacrum refused, of course, and ended up being dispelled. But Simurail was offered a different path. She would be allowed to keep and raise Sachi in exchange for her assistance, and if she refused, she would also be dispelled. I was under a lot of pressure, and couldn't properly think it through, so I ended up taking the deal. Vecna then used a legendary scroll to turn Simurail into her own unique living being to better care for the child and assist him. She took the name Leah as she was a different side of Rail, a life split from its prime source. She ended up on the path of a clockwork soul sorcerer to separate herself even more. She started her new life as just a magic item shop owner, but that only lasted for a few days before the small town they were living in was swarmed by orcs. Vecna came to warn them before the shop was hit, requesting that Leah and Vulpes complete a mission for him in Ravenloft. She had no time to think, and so she agreed, and since she didn't want Sachi to experience such a place, she left her in Vecna's care. She felt that he would see value in her, and therefore by him may be the safest place in the world for her. Leah and Vulpes made their way through, meeting and unfortunately killing a hag who threatened them, learning about the land, and infiltrating the castle of Strahd himself through the help of his rebellious daughter. Fortunately for us, Strahd had been contained with a stake and was in a vegetative state, but we did run into both of his sons. One an immensely intelligent but cruel diplomat that Leah managed to talk her way away from, and one a fearsome brute of a creature. Leah managed to kill the beastly one after Vulpes had to shunt themselves away nearing the end of the fight, and found what they were looking for in the deepest reaches of the catacombs, Vecna's spellbook. Vulpes was not able to return for 11 years, in which time Leah cared for and trained a young man named Jeremy that she had found in the dungeon and saved. He became her adopted son, and one of the greatest legacies of hers and hers alone. When Vulpes eventually returned, they were able to call upon Vecna to bring them home, where only a couple of years had passed. Leah was able to keep raising Sachi, and continued existing alongside Vecna as his plans started to unfold. But for the end of her story, you'll have to stick around till a later video, as this is already quite the novel. This piece didn't end up exactly as I was attempting, especially in the lower face area, but I'm still pretty satisfied with the overall effect. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you were entertained by this part of Leah's story. If you enjoyed this video, please grant me a like, and if you'd like to see some more of my art, subscribe to join me. That's all for now, so farewell, and have a wonderful day.